June 1st at 5:30 p.m. And the veggie dogs, hot dogs will be provided. So just bring your favorite side dish on June 1st. Cantata practice, it's already time for Christmas cantata practice, I guess. So if you're interested in the cantata, for the Christmas cantata, it will be on June 4 here in the sanctuary following potluck. And you can also call Melissa, the number's there, Melissa Pipich, on your bulletin. So I think that is good for the announcements, so we'll go ahead and start the service. Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you very much for the Sabbath day, this beautiful day that we can get together and worship you as a church family and celebrate our youth, the Pathfinders, and those in service. We ask your Spirit to be here and give a blessing to this service. In Jesus' name, amen.
Waiting for upstairs. We're sorry for the delay. There's a problem upstairs. There we go. Pathfinders, Tin Hut, Color Guard, Port Colors. Forward, march. Oh, we are the Pathfinders strong, the servant of God are we. Faithful as we march along, kindness, truth, and purity. A message to tell to the world, the truth that will set us free. In Jesus the Savior's coming back for you and me. Post colors.
Please join me in the pledge to our nation's flag. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Present arms. By the grace of God, I'll be pure, kind, and true. I'll keep the Pathfinder law. I'll be a servant of God and a friend to man. The Pathfinder law is for me to keep the morning watch, do my honest part, care for my body, keep a level eye, be courteous and obedient, walk softly in the sanctuary, keep a song in my heart, and go on God's errands. Order arms.
Colors, about face. To your post. I don't have control yet. You may be seated. Thank you. My name is Miguel Chambers. I'm the director of the Reading Rangers Pathfinder Club. If you guys don't know what Pathfinders is, it's a scouting type club for boys and girls ages 10 to 17 with a leadership program for the high schoolers. And we are the Shasta County Area Club. We've had a really great year this year. You're going to get to see some of the things that we've done this year. And I've really enjoyed this year. These are a great group of kids. This is our home church, but we do include other churches in our club. And I hope you enjoy this program. And I guess now we're ready for song service. Do we have our song service people? Oh, okay. So we had a little problem with getting a guitar. So they're not quite ready. Do I have control of this yet? There we go. Oh, okay. So I believe the song, we're ready for song service. I believe the song we're going to sing is Amazing Grace, which is kind of a perfect song because that's tied into what I'm going to be talking about. I get to do a sermon today. I haven't done a sermon in a very long time, and we're still waiting for song service. Some of the things that you're going to get to see some of the things that we've done this year. We have not had a program like this. This is what we call Pathfinder Sabbath since June of 2019. So you're going to see a lot of things today. We're going to go as fast as we can. I apologize if we go over, but we're going to try to just get this done as fast as possible. There's been a lot of things that we've done over this period of time, so we're ready anytime. Thank you.
This is such a fun Sabbath. I was a Pathfinder for many years growing up, and it's so nice seeing them in forms and how fun. The song we're going to sing this morning is Amazing Grace, My Chains Are Gone, and the other Pathfinders are coming up to join us. Okay, guys, you got to sing loud.
I
The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbear to shine, but God who called me here below will be forever mine. Will be forever mine. You are forever mine. Amen. Thank you for singing with us this morning.
So now we are going to show you what we've been doing for the last 2 years. I'm waiting for... Oh, sorry. I jumped ahead. So now the children's story. Thank you.
Can all the kids please come? There's only one.
You want us up there? You want us up there?
Good morning and happy Sabbath. I know it says Jennifer Waltman in the bulletin and up there, but she couldn't make it today. So I filled in, seeing as we just had to change the last name. And are you guys ready? There it is. That's my last name. One day, a farmer's donkey fell into the well. The animal cried and cried and cried for hours, and the farmer tried so hard to get the donkey out of the well. Finally, he decided after a long time of hard work that it just wasn't worth it. The animal was old, and it was already time to fill up the well because it was dry. He invited all his neighbors to come help him, all to grab shovels and to fill up the well with dirt around. At first, the donkey didn't realize what was happening and cried horribly. Then, to everyone's amazement, he just stopped crying. He became quiet. They all decided to look into the well to see what would have happened. They looked in and they saw that the donkey was getting higher. Every time that they threw dirt into the well, the donkey would shake it off his back, then stomp on it, and get more leverage, get higher and higher. Pretty soon, the donkey was so high that it could step out of the well. Then the donkey happily trotted off and went back to the other donkeys that the farmer owned. The moral of this story is to always remember that life is going to throw dirt at you, and people are going to be rude, and life isn't always going to go well. But you can always shake off that dirt, and then you can stand back up and be God's child, because God made you perfect, and nothing can take that from you. You guys may all go back to your seats.
Okay, now I get to do the slideshow. So, so it's been a while since we've presented our Pathfinder Sabbath to the congregation, so we have a little bit to catch up on. We're going all the way back to the last Oshkosh International Camporee. We have 4 Pathfinders in the club right now that were at that camporee, 75,000 Pathfinders, all in one place. This is a picture of Sabbath morning for church. There are people sitting all the way out in the parking lots. So we have actually overgrown this site, and we will not be using that place anymore because it's just too small. This is us flying over there. We raised $20,000 so that our club could go there, and we sponsored another club. I'm not working. There it goes. This is our group that we had. The white shirts are from Mexico. We sponsored a club from Mexico that we provided their camping gear. They just had to get themselves there. We provided all their food and their camping gear. This is an experience that I think every Pathfinder should get to experience. I've gone to 2 of them. They are incredible. You can see Pastor Katrina up there. She was there with her previous club from Washington, and then we had one person from our club that earned their Master Guide. I spent all my time gold panning there because Northern California always has the gold panning honor they teach, and this is where I get stuck. There are a lot of honors that are offered. I think there was over 300 honors being taught at the same time, basically, all week long when we were at, this is blacksmithing. There's a sad story about us in blacksmithing. Was it been 5 years now? We have not been able to accomplish that. Something keeps getting in the way. Axe throwing, the kids always loved that one. Pewter. That was a lot of fun because you get to make little figurines and stuff like that with hot metal. Kids always love fire. There's a lot of different things at Camporee that are available. So many things. This is us getting ready for parade. The parade goes all week long. Every day, because there's so many different clubs, there's a parade every single day, and you can go and watch all the different clubs from different countries and stuff. These people are from Portugal. That's their uniforms. It's more of the AY uniform, which is the blue shirt and red scarf. These are from South Korea. The year before, the uniforms were different, so they must have changed. They had a really interesting uniform before. It was a lot of fun just seeing all the different clubs. There were several world records that were made. I know myself, Keith, and I think Josh, we are in this. This is the world's largest cross made from people. We had to wear these little blue outfits, jumpers like, and we're kind of like in the middle of that, where the 2 cross pieces are. We're somewhere in that middle piece. There are 33,000 people in that right there. March and drill, we did not compete in March and drill this last Oshkosh, but we did the one before in 2014, and we have a trophy downstairs for second place. So I was really proud of the kids. We had a 5-man team, which is odd, because usually they're 4 or 6. And we competed with only 2 other clubs as a 5-man team. The Filipinos are always the hardest ones to beat. This is just every evening is a general assembly, and there's a live program with professional actors that portray, I think this is South Korea doing this, or Japan, I'm not sure. But the story was the story of David. And so every night you get a new installment in the story of David. In 2014, it was the story of Daniel. The next one that's coming up is going to be the story of Moses. The shows are just amazing. Professional actors doing it. Color guard is another thing that I always try to encourage our Pathfinders to get involved in at Oshkosh. We had 3 Pathfinders from our club that got to participate in color guard. Those flags have to go up and down every single day. And there were like 8 of them, I think. And so they all got a special ribbon that they can wear for the life. Whenever they wear their uniform, it is a permanent part of their uniform now as a official color guard. This is a new thing that I was very happy for, tribute. It's a sad thing. All those names up there are people that have Pathfinders that have died since the last International Camporee. And I was fortunate to be able to be one of the first ones to find this, and so I was able to add Martin Bird's name to that. He was my mentor in Pathfinders. He was the one that qualified me for Master Guide. It took me 8 years to do it, but he was the one that got me over the last hump and helped me to become a director and such like that. And so I always considered him as my mentor. And he received his 50-year service pin before he passed away. Pin trading, wow. So much pin trading. Some of these guys take it really seriously. Where is it? Okay, Jonah. He was just wiped out. I had to take the picture of him because he was just... the baptisms are probably the high point of camporee. I don't know if you can see the picture, but that is our Pastor Eddie, Eddie Heinrich. He is the Northern California youth director, and he's always in the pool. He's always doing the baptisms. There are about 200 to 300 baptisms every day at International Camporee, sometimes a little higher, especially on Sabbath is the high point. If you go on the website, 80% of the pictures on the website are baptisms. And most of these pictures I have right now are from the website. I'm not getting... There it goes. This is the Ron Whitehead, the CEO of International Camporee. And if you ever want to go check it out, camporee.org, it's really easy to go to, and you can see what it's all about, what he's done. It's an amazing thing he does. As soon as one ends, he's starting the next one, because it takes 5 years to plan these things. They're amazing. Like I said, the next one is in about 2.5 years, 24, and it's going to be about the story of Moses. We plan on going to that. So that means that we have to, I'm estimating with the rise in prices, it might cost us another $20,000 to get there. It's closer, but the prices are more expensive. It won't be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin anymore. It's going to be in Gillette, Wyoming. They have a big, wide, flat, open area. So it's easy to set up lots and lots and lots of tents. Their meeting area is a little bit bigger. They have more stadiums and things like that are available. And they have arenas. There will be pig wrestling and calf roping. I'm not sure, those are the two that I'm pretty sure of. I'm not sure, there might be a demonstration rodeo, there might be bull riding for people to watch, buck and bronco, I'm not sure. But it is Wyoming, so they're going to bring Wyoming to us. It's going to be a lot of fun. It won't be like all the other camporees. So every year I've tried to get the kids outside to do stuff, and it's been an annual thing that we climb Mount Lassen when it's not on fire, that is. We missed the last 2 of them because it was either COVID, the park was closed, or everything was on fire. I have climbed this mountain 9 times now. It is to an elevation of 10,500 feet, and when they get to the top, they earn a patch. There's a black rock at the very top, and they have to touch the rock, and then this is actually the actual top, which is just a little bit higher than the tourist top. It is a lot of fun, and the kids always really enjoy it. We always have to get training, so we go to Leone Meadows for staff leadership training, and that helps us to become better leaders. And they have a train. My son got to go last time and got to ride the train because we didn't have a babysitter, right here, Ben. And so he really enjoyed it. City of Reading put on their second safety fair. This was something that was brand new to me. I didn't understand, but it was basically all of the emergency services get together and just kind of have a small fair for people to come check out. And I'm like, okay, I need to teach Red Alert, which is emergency preparedness, and I need to teach first aid. So I gave them the worksheets, and I said, go ask questions. Oop, I missed a slide here, because I have this beautiful slide. This thing is being slow. Where is it? There it is. So they just sat down and taught classes to our scouts for us. And the kids got all of their answers all filled out for everything they needed. They went to several different booths. We are planning on doing this again. They're going to have another one this summer. And what the plan is that we're going to be working with Shasta Regional Center and put a booth that kids from the community can come through and fill out a little worksheet. They go to different stations to get the answers about emergency preparedness, what to do in an emergency. And then they're going to get some kind of a sticker or something that they can take home with them. A certificate, I think. So one of the EMTs or something will sign this certificate for them, and they'll get to take that home. We like working with the community as much as possible. Backpacking. We are going to go before it starts burning this year. Yeah, so we have to plan. We're actually planning it for July. Hopefully it's not on fire before July. But we always go to the same place. We love this place, Deadfall Lakes, up in the Mount Shasta area. And does anybody remember the Valentine's Day avalanche? This is in August, months and months later, and there's still 30 feet of snow. It's melted everywhere else except for where the avalanche, there was 50 feet of snow at the bottom where the avalanche finally stopped off of Mount Shasta. That was a lot of fun. Camporee, so after an international camporee, they always have a specialized camporee for just Northern California, which is called a camping skills camporee. So they always do different things. We got to do canoeing. I had never been able to do canoeing honor before. That was a lot of fun. This is all the teens that get to do canoeing. Camporees are always just a lot of fun. My apologies, we did not do pies this year. There's plans. Hopefully we'll be able to do pies again next year. Things that are starting to settle down a little bit, and we're able to do more things. But we usually make about 180 pies every year for a fundraiser. Coleman Fish Hatchery has their Return to the Salmon Festival, and for the last 2 festivals, we've had a booth there where we teach the fish honor. It's a fish theme, so we bring our fish honor, and the kids can go through and fill out the worksheet. If they do the complete honor, I have patches there, and I give them the patch. We have a shortened one, which is a lot easier, and if they do that, they get a small compass, this little toy compass that doesn't cost us very much. And it's been a really popular thing. Everybody really likes it. And it gets us out in the community, interacting with the community. The kids love it. And the Pathfinders get to do this thing called Slap a Fish. Because in the big pools, there's this one little low spot where you can lean over and the fish will jump and you slap the fish. This was our club in 2019. We had a great club. This is our induction service, this picture. Rick Novak was our area coordinator. He was a good friend of mine. I really liked Rick. He was a really down-to-earth guy. He passed away this last year. And he served, how many years? I'm not sure. He was a Marine, so we liked that too. But I really liked Rick. I kind of miss him. Camping skills is always a thing, so we're always trying to find ways to go camping, and so the kids can learn safety. This is a big thing, learning axe and fire and all those things that are involved in camping. Cooking, they get to cook on fire, which is all different than teen caving. We didn't get to do teen caving this year either. There were so many things that this last year we had canceled. It was like every single camping trip that I tried to plan, something would happen, quarantines, and we couldn't go camping over and over again. But this is always one of the fun things. Only teens get to go on camping, except my son. He gets to go on everything. So this is, I think, one of the ice caves he's crawling out of right there. This is the catacombs. This cave is a mile long. And then there's this little tiny passage that I can't go through, where you can crawl over to a parallel one that goes all the way back to the beginning. So this is the one that usually people do on Sabbath Saturday night. It's just like all the Pathfinders are in this giant cave. It's a lot of fun. It is hazardous. You have to have headgear. It's a lava tube, so there's these spikes hanging down. We call them dragon scales, and they will tear you up. It's like every year somebody gets. Our club has one of the few trained color guards in Shasta County. In fact, I did get an invitation, a request from Simpson College. They have an event going on today that they had asked us to be color guard for, because we have done color guard for them before. Unfortunately, we had this, so conflict. But we have done color guard for many different organizations. We've even done one military funeral. That was this year. And I'm trying to get something for all the Pathfinders where they learn more about color guard, not just drill and march, but the specifics of how to do a proper color guard. There's a lot involved. Food drives, that's another thing that kind of got put on postpone because of COVID. Every year we try to do a food drive for a local food bank, and the community, they love seeing us. They wait for us to come back because we drop off bags and then come back the next day, and they really enjoy seeing the kids. Another one of our community service is that once a month we go to the Good News Rescue Mission and we help serve dinner. It's interesting how after you've done it multiple times, people that are going through line, they know you and they're like, so glad to see you, and they like, thank you so much for doing this. And you start to build, you even start to get to know some of their names. The kids really enjoy it because it's an interaction for them. It's a way for them to, it's a safe space, but it's also a way for them to see the other side and interact with what it's like to be homeless. It is, it's eye-opening sometimes. The Christmas parade. So we actually have done 2 Christmas parades. This is the one in 2019, and we were able to be in the Christmas parade this year. This is, for me, it's one of the most labor-intensive because getting the parade float ready, getting everything ready, but it is a lot of fun to ride in the parade and the waving. Bell ringing is always a lot of fun. We do that every single year for the Salvation Army. Sometimes it gets really cold, but it's always a lot of fun. The 2019 Christmas party, I think everyone was there, really, really enjoyed that. We had a Monopoly competition. So everybody had 1 hour to get as much money as possible. So if you've ever seen furious Monopoly games, this was a lot of fun. And then there were prizes for those who had the most Monopoly money. This is another thing that got canceled this year, but it was a lot of fun. We've done it twice, getting together with Red Bluff Pathfinders, and we just have what we call a camp-in. So basically, we all camp in the gym. It's noisy until midnight, 1 o'clock, when we finally make them go to bed. And we also do the pizza honor, so that's part of our supper. They have to make their own pizzas from scratch, and they learn about the history of pizzas. So many Nerf guns. We tell them all to bring their Nerf guns, and there's just Nerf guns flying everywhere. I've taught them to play rugby, which is I used to play rugby, and it's a fun thing to do. First aid honor. So in this part, they're learning how to make splints, and I just brought a bunch of random stuff, and they have to try to make splints from blankets and straps and sticks and umbrellas and all kinds of stuff whatever they can find in the pile. They had a lot of fun doing that. I think that's a sleeping pad. Another sleeping pad with straps all wrapped around it. Just being inventive, because when you're in an emergency, you don't have a nice perfect little kit there with all your parts in it. You got to find what you can. CPR class, kids got a certificate. Now we had a lot of donations for this. We were working on the model railroading honor, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. It is a really large, intensive honor. It takes a lot of time to do it. We have a local club here, the Railroading Club on Railroad Avenue. If you like railroading, go. It's really a lot of fun. We hope to still do this, but something large got in our way. They taught the entire honor for us. We just showed up there and it was like, yeah, we're the professionals on railroading. We know everything. And then they just went through all the classwork part and taught everything. And then the world ended. Interrupted, it was like we had just completed all of the classwork and we were ready to start building a set. And it's all still down in the closet down there. We want to do something with it. We'll find a good place for it. So I guess I didn't have anything to do, so I spent my summer putting on a new church roof. These are some of my pictures from working on this church roof when we were doing that. We invented our own equipment. We couldn't find proper equipment, so I'm a welder. Cornelio is a welder. And we engineered and we made special equipment. This is, You see the boom that's still sitting out here. We made that basket, that's a custom basket, because it has a forklift on it. So we could use the platform up there, and then we took the forklifts off, and we have this boom here that carried 10 pieces of metal. These pieces are almost 40 feet long, and they'll bend really easy if you don't have them just right. So we're ready to do another church roof. We have all the equipment. It was a little hot up there. This is one of the pictures from right there. And this is when we had it all stripped down. We put 2 layers of insulation over the entire roof. So there's 4 inches of insulation up there now, which really helped this church because it would get hot so bad here. I got married in this church in late May, and it was 105 out there, and the air conditioning broke. And that was, my family was not happy with me. So we were finally able to, this last September, able to get back into doing Pathfinders again. This is our icebreaker. We have a 9 square in the air game now. Our club owns one. The kids love this game. Our first meeting, we had a good group. We really enjoyed it. This is me teaching the Red Alert honor. This is something we have to do every single year. Flag folding is something we have to do. Every Pathfinder knows how to fold a flag. That's just part of their training. I think we inducted 3 new Pathfinders this year. The motto is, once a Pathfinder, always a Pathfinder. I know we have some Pathfinders in the audience today. There's one that was willing to wear a uniform. Is anybody willing, former Pathfinders, are you willing to stand up right now so we can all see our former Pathfinders? Everybody who's ever been a Pathfinder? Isn't it amazing? They hide. They blend into the... Thank you so much. So this picture is from when we had inspection. And our area coordinator... I forgot your part. We skipped your part. I'm so sorry. Our area coordinator, Terry Parsons, came down to do our inspection. And by her grace and the grace of God, we passed. So, because with so many cancellations and stuff during this year, we hadn't gotten a lot of practice in, but we did okay. Camporee this last year, it was small. This was at Redwood Camp Meeting area, so we call it the Redwood Camp Meeting, Redwood Camporee. It was small, but it was a lot of fun. Camporee is always one of my favorite things. Again, with Color Guard, our training, we were the only one who had any kind of thing to lead a parade, so we were asked to lead the parade for Camporee. And the kids just look sharp, when they're in their full Color Guard uniforms. This is the flag raising with all the clubs that were there. First time ever that I'd ever been to a Camporee potluck for Sabbath lunch because the groups were so small. That was a lot of fun. I wish we could do that more because all the clubs just come together and we all had potluck together. It was a lot of fun. And of course, we always have to go to the beach because we're at the coast. I had to get you in there. Another one of our community service projects, a nonprofit that helps families get back together and they get their kids back, but they have to be in a stable home. So this company, I'm forgetting the name right now, this nonprofit, they provide a furnished apartment for a family that's trying to put their family back together with all the furniture and everything, and then when they've graduated that program, they get to take everything with them to move into their permanent housing wherever they're going. So then they have couches and they have lamps and plates and cooking pots. This is where they were storing some of their furniture and there were rats getting in there. So they asked us to come and seal it up and secure it so that the rats weren't going in there anymore. Church duties. If you've come to this church, you notice that once a month you'll see Pathfinders in uniform, usually at the front doors greeting. That's part of our program. It helps them be in uniform once a month, and it helps them integrate with the church and be in a leadership position in the church. So usually there's greeters, but sometimes they come up and do song service or other things. They have a lot of fun. Obviously, that's before. And I have, so Josh here is in the LIT, the Leadership and Training Program. That's what the red, I have 2 LITs, that's what the red cords are for. It's a 4-year program for the teens, for the high schoolers. And it is high school points, and it's for college leadership programs, it counts for that too. That's my son doing scripture. And we still go to the mission. We're still doing that. The archery honor. Davey was the only one who completed the archery honor this year. It is not easy. So I give them 7 arrows. They have to get 5 of the 7 arrows into the area of a paper plate from 30 feet away. So for a new beginner, that takes some, you got to learn your proper stance and your position and how to release, and it's not easy. He completed it, so we're proud of him. The others are going to continue this summer. They've practiced. In fact, Gabby was just over this week practicing some more, and Ben practiced a little bit more. So they're going to keep working at it. So if you ask, you receive. This is the old awning from Red Robin on Dana Drive. It belongs to Pathfinders now. It belongs to the Reading Rangers. We were there, and I asked them, what are you guys going to do with this thing? And they're like, you want it? Take it down, and it's yours. So it is 20 feet by 40 feet commercial awning, and it's for rent. So if you guys need a big awning, let me know, and we'll work out a deal. And I have it I'm in my shed right now, and it is heavy, so it takes 3 people at least, minimum, to set it up. But we're going to be taking that to our next camporees and stuff. It was too big for redwood camporee. There's too many trees, and it might be too big to take to Southern California. But it is, for international camporee, the thing, we could probably put our entire camp underneath that thing. Tents and everything. We were also donated a really big mixer. So if you need a mixer, let me know. So this is not how you're supposed to do knot tying class, but they were having a lot of fun. Again, our color guard, don't they look sharp? This is at the funeral of Rick Novak, our former area coordinator. He specifically asked, because he knew that I trained these Pathfinders to do this, that we were the color guard for his funeral. That was his dying wish. That was also the reason why we couldn't go to caving, because we couldn't fit everything in. There were a couple other little things that were messing us up. So we were here instead. And the Navy, the Marines, Army was there represented, but we were the color guard. This is during taps. I don't know if you can see the Marine there by the doors. He's doing taps right there and the flag folding ceremony. And then a couple of my color guard were passing microphones around to everyone. This is Rick's brother, Air Force, who is speaking right now. More bell ringing, because it's fun. This is our parade float from this last year. Everybody said it was the best one that we've ever built. I'm getting better at it. Every year we get a little bit more. We still don't have any moving parts. That's actually part of the advanced honors. You have to make moving parts that have motors and stuff, and they move automatically. We haven't gotten that complicated yet. Someday. But the kids just love it. It is so much fun. Camping skills again. So we got invited to Paradise Pathfinders, where Terry has been the director for a long time. And this was actually our very first camping trip for this year. Only 3 of us were able to go. But camping skills is always something we're always teaching. So I think one has a hatchet and one has a machete. And they're learning how to use those tools safely. Because safely is always a thing. Fire skills here, I think Camp Crane is what they're learning right there, how to cook over a campfire. Congratulations to Josh Waltman, who completed the Cycling Advanced Honor. That means 100 miles, and they normally give you 8 hours to complete that, but we were running late, so we got there almost an hour and a half late. So he did it in 6.5 hours, and just barely, I mean, he was doing his 100th lap when they were closing the course. So they allowed him to finish, and he got it done. That's no easy. So Liam had a crash and burn at about 30 miles. He finished his next 20 miles with his injuries, with the road rash, and he finished his 50 miles and earned the honor. So we were really proud of him for doing that. Everybody loves model rocketry. We did this one on special request because they're like, let's do model rocketry again. There's just something about fireworks and things going swoosh into the air, you know. We love it. So we built quite a few model rockets. I had a lot of fun doing this one also. Let's see if I get, that's Josh's, what was it called? Goldfish. Okay, so just to let you know, a mosquito rocket is basically just as big as the motor plus fins. And when it reaches altitude, it pops the engine out and then just flutters back down, so it doesn't have a parachute. Well, he went full tilt and built a, what was that, a D12 engine you put in that thing, which is like the biggest engine you can buy. And it was so powerful, it ripped the fins off of it. Went off. I'm going to show you the video today, but we have video of it, and it was just, the thing was a hot rod. It was just incredible. Okay, this one's mine that I built. This is a replica of SpaceX Starship. And it was a spectacular failure, just like SpaceX. It was wonderful. This is another mosquito rocket. We were invited, Bob and Mike Moeller, that's her name, is Michael, of the Vaca Creek Ranch in Millville to use their property. This is the second time that they've invited us to use their property. It's a big, wide open space. It is perfect for model rocketry. If other clubs need a space, let me know, because they said anytime we need to do it, it has to be during burn season in the winter before May 1st. But I know we can do it. Club inspection, we passed. It was wonderful. We were all so happy. This is them in formation. Pathfinder Fair is kind of the last thing that we end up doing. It finishes the year for Pathfinder year down in Napa. It's a lot of fun. This year, Terry was actually the one, a new honor that was added called Toy Boat Regatta. And you have to build 2 little boats. One is a sailboat with air power, and you have to race them down. They're just gutters filled with, do I have a picture of that? Yeah, these gutters filled with water, and mine has crashed. You can see it. Liam's is doing really well. But you have to race a sailboat, and you have to build a rubber band powered boat. And Weston was not able to be here. Oops. Weston was not able to be here today, but this is his boat, and it won first place. I think there was only one other boat that was built that was as fast as his. So he did a really great job. And then, so what's coming up, this coming October, we get to go to Pacific Union Camporee. That's a 5-state camporee for everyone down in this southwestern corner of the United States. It's at Lake Skinner, which is between Riverside and Temecula, I think, somewhere in there, out in that area. It's a lot of fun. It's another one of those, not as big as International Camporee, but respectably big. And they teach, I guess that's my last honor. Last picture. So they teach, there's probably about 12 to 15 honors being taught there. I guess, again, more than that. I always get stuck with gold panning, so that's the only one I ever get. You're teaching 2 honors. I'll be in gold panning. And So this is what's coming up. With International Camporee coming up and the Camporee, the Union Camporee coming up, prices are going up and up and up. We have a little bit of money set aside for these, but we will be fundraising, trying to raise money to go to these events, and then there's everything else in between. We really appreciate your guys' support. This church has always been good at supporting us. There will be an offering at the end where the Pathfinders will be, you'll be able to support our club some more. We appreciate everything. And now, honors. Can you help me move this table? Do you want to come up? So, you guys already know Davey. He earned, come on up, he earned the archery honor. Good job, thank you. And then Alexis Pickett, who came to our club from Paradise Pathfinders. So Terry was her former director. And then Weston and Rylan were not able to be with us today. They had family obligations. I haven't been reading these. I'm sorry. I forgot to read yours, what you got. Decoupage, Red Alert, and Toy Boat Regatta were the ones that these guys... So there's requirements every year of specific honors that they have to earn, such as Red Alert, First Aid, other stuff like that. And so... So of these, I'm going to read these to you, and you can pin them. So Gabby Walters, will you come up, please? Gabby has finished all the requirements for the first rank, which is called Friend. There's camping skills requirements. She was able to finish that. There are like emergency preparedness, crafting nature honors, and things like that that she had to accomplish. And so the ones that she accomplished was Decoupage, Red Alert, Feeding Ministries, that's from going to the mission and helping there, Parade Float, Camping Skills 1, and Rocketry. Good job. Ben Chambers. He also earned the Friend rank. His honors that he earned this year are Decoupage, Marine Mammals, Rocketry, and Microscopic Life. I always just do it on the scarf, but yeah. Congratulations. Liam Pickett. So Liam is also formerly from Paradise. He's known Terry for a very, very long time as an adventurer. He was an adventurer. The honors he earned this year are Decoupage, Red Alert, Feeding Ministries, Parade Float, Cycling, because he did his 50 miles, and he learned about bicycles, Camping Skills 1, Rocketry, and Toy Boat Regatta. You are also the one who earned the most honors this year. Congratulations. CJ Pickett, another Paradise Pathfinder. So CJ has earned the fourth year rank, which is called Ranger. He finished all the requirements for that, and the honors that he earned are Decoupage, Marine Mammals, Rocketry, and Toy Boat Regatta. Josh Waltman. So Josh is our LIT, and from his sash, you can see he has earned a lot of honors over the years. He's been with the Reading Club, how many years now?
Minus COVID, 6.
6 years. A long time. The honors he earned this year are Decoupage, Marine Mammals, and Advanced Cycling for the 100 miles. Jennifer Chambers. Jennifer earned decoupage, feeding ministries, marine mammals, toy boat regatta, and microscopic life. And I actually got some this year. So these are new ones that I don't have yet. I know. Decoupage, marine mammals, toy boat regatta. Hi, I can never say that. Koki? Coqui frogs. It's a little Dominican Republic. It's this special little frog that is like their national emblem or something. And cetaceans, which is ocean. Whales.
Good job.
All right. Thank you. Let's make do this. Okay. So now, Benjamin, you can come right here.
And I will ask of my Father, and he will give you another Comforter to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it has not seen him and does not know him, but you know him, because he abides with you and is in you. John 14:16-17.
So I was thinking, like, what can we talk about with our remaining time here? And during this year, we have been studying. Every year I pick for our worships a theme. So one year we did leadership, and we talked about leadership during all of our worships through the whole year. Another year we did citizenship, stewardship. This year, I guess it was a personal burden of mine, things that I've gone through, things that I've experienced, and my personal journey. I wanted Pathfinders to take a little bit different path this year, and we got a little bit more specific. This question, why are we here? I'm not saying why are we still here. I was like, why do we come to this church? Why do we do this church thing? Why do we pay money and put in labor and volunteer and do all these things to make this organization happen? Why do we do this? Why do churches exist? Why are there so many churches? You know what? I just forgot I'm supposed to have my notes here so that I don't get lost. Okay. Why are there so many different kinds of churches, so many different organizations that offer something? What is it all about? Why are we here? Just so you guys know, I am doing my presentation here using memes. If you guys don't know what memes are, they're little compact pictures that have a heavy message. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're really serious. But it's something I know, so I'm running with my strengths. People are looking for answers. Our world is broken. There is pain everywhere you look. How many songs are there about our different kinds of pain? Broken hearts, broken dreams, broken futures, broken pickup trucks. There's all kinds of different songs about the pain that we go through. And there's so many different solutions offered. Do they all work? You know, one of the most popular ones is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Does that work? Ask Johnny Depp. Does it? There's other religions, other meditation, yoga, Buddhism. All these different things are offered as solutions. Do they work? Is there any hope, or is this as good as it gets? Is there anything that can be the answer to all of the misery and pain that we have today? There is a story, a very, very old story. in the form of a promise that someday there would come a one who would offer the solution to our pain and suffering. The stepping on the serpent's head, crushing the serpent's head, symbolism that someday it would be all over. So what is this story? What is this story, and how do we understand it? So I'm thinking about this, and it's like, I'll share a little story. I have a friend in Europe who was literally at the end of her rope. I could tell by the things she was posting. She was full-on suicidal. And she and I've never met her, but she's a pure Facebook friend. We had kind of conversed back and forth. I kind of, whatever I would encourage her, with messages or posts and stuff like that, because I could tell she was just going. She is autistic, so I understand that. Some of my children are autistic, so I felt this kind of connection with her, and I feel like I got assigned. It's like God's like, okay, this person's yours. Okay, you're the only person that can reach this person and help them. And so I just shared with her what I knew, what's happened with me. But it started me on this thinking: how do you simplify the gospel into a text message? Is it possible to make it that simple that you could send a text message that would contain the gospel? The same kind of thing is explaining it to young children. How can you make it so simple that children can understand it? I'm not sure if I got it that simple, but I was able to find a picture that I believe has all the components of the gospel and what the gospel is. Oh, that's my thinking picture, because I was thinking. This picture, I believe, has everything that the gospel is. Now, there are two parts here. This week we've been, in the adult Sabbath school, we were studying about covenants. This, I believe, is a covenant. There's two halves for two different parties, where both parties get something that they want. Okay, so it's kind of like a contract. This is kind of what we were studying about this year in our worships, is what is this baptism thing? Why do we do it? What does it mean? So this is kind of like a very compact summation of what we've been studying this year. So let's talk about the first half. The part that's down in the water, I would call this the part that God gets, the Creator. We both get something out of this contract. So what does He get? Well, to begin this process, like the Apostle Paul says, you can't experience God unless you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, you're shut out. There's no avenue for you to go forward. I like to say that the currency of the unseen world is believing. That's how the unseen world works. But is believing enough? Do you need more than just to believe? Because the devils believe, they know exactly who Jesus is, but does it benefit them? It doesn't do any good for them. There has to be more. There has to be a promise of some kind. What is the promise? This was the second most trustworthy person I could find. But there is a promise from the most trustworthy person. He promises that He will give us something in this contract, something forever. So what is it? So to summarize, we know that we're in pain. That's why we're here. And we've heard that there's a hope, some kind of plan. And we believe in this promise, and that's why we're standing in the water there. Pathfinders, what happens when you get baptized? You get wet. Because it's not about the baptism. It doesn't matter where you're getting baptized, what you're wearing, who's doing it, what words are said. What matters is what you believe. The believing in the promises, that's the part that really matters. But is believing enough? Is there more that's needed? I call this going out on a limb. Because this is what God requires from us. Not just to believe, but to put ourselves out there. To risk it all. That's what he wants. He doesn't want us holding back. And it's like, oh, okay, I have to do this really safely. And sometimes we know some people like this that have reached this point where they just don't care anymore. Their pain is so great and so intense that they're just like, I'm done. Whatever I'm doing from now on is for me only. No one else has ever come to my aid. No one else has ever helped me with my pain, my suffering, my anxiety, my loneliness, which is probably the number one killer in the world from Adam and Eve. That's the one that destroys us the most. My question is this a good thing when you reach this point where you just don't care anymore? What does Jesus say about people who have reached this point? It's an interesting conundrum. Blessed are those who are brokenhearted, because you have nothing to lose. Those who really reach that point where they're just ready to let go. In contrast to the rich young ruler who had so much to hang on to, he couldn't let it go. That's what Jesus asked him to. It's just like, I didn't say you have to just, well, I think about Job. Job was extremely wealthy, but he walked with God because he could turn his back on all of that at a moment's notice. It didn't mean anything to him. He could let it go. It's not about being poor. It's about being able to turn your back on this world and everything it means. That's the commitment that this contract requires. That's what God wants us from. That's why he says these people are blessed, because they're automatically at that point. So when they see hope from that point, they're like, I'm all in. Kind of like the thief on the cross. He had nothing to lose. He's like, count me in. My mom would never let me fight giants. It was dangerous. Putting it all in, going and doing this kind of extreme kind of thing, my mom was like, nope, you don't get to. It's risky. Putting yourself into someone else's hands. Now, we have veterans here. Veterans understand what it means to put your life into someone else's hands, to trust someone else with everything. So is that really what we are being asked to do? When you're under the water there's no life for us under the water. There's no future for us. This life, this world for us cannot go forward when you're under the water. What does go forward? He's the one that goes forward. When we go under the water, if by faith we believe we are with Jesus in that place, but he comes out, what do we get when he comes back out? A clean slate, a start over. Because what comes out by faith, by believing the promises, what comes out is a new person. We're going to talk about what kind of new person that is. This new person that comes out, and we get hope. Someday he's coming back. Someday there'll be no more pain, no more suffering. We'll get to see all the people we lost. It'll all be brought back to us. Someday. But what about today? My pain is still here. We are still in suffering. We still have all of this that causes so much strife in our lives. So what about today? What do we get? So we've talked about what God gets out of it. He gets us completely out on the limb, giving everything, nothing to lose. That's what he gets. What do we get? We get this thing called God in us, Christ in us. Remember the promise? With you, but in you, more specifically. That's what you get. This new thing, not me anymore, it's God in me now. But how? How do we get that? It's simple. You ask. If you ask, he will give it to you. That's what the promise is. You just have to ask. And when you have received, it completely changes your viewpoint on everything. You no longer, if God is with you, who can stand against you? If God is in you, in what danger are you? Are you ever in any kind of danger? What kind of confidence does that build? So this concept of God in us is actually illustrated very well. Gods live in temples. When you go looking for a god, that's where you go. You go looking in temples to find a god. Well, you are a temple. Sorry, this is the best picture I could find of God in us. It's hard to find a picture like that on the internet. But in actuality, this is what God in us looks like. The parables say it's the pearl of great price. It's the thing that a person is willing to give up everything for because they can feel it right here. All that anxiety, that loneliness, that fear, the pain of rejection, of broken hearts, everything that all those songs talk about, gone, like darkness before the light. It just all disappears. This is actually, I'll just share, this is my experience. About 3 years ago, when I was at a super low point. I believe with my whole heart that this is the one test that you can tell people that they can prove that there is a God. If they ask for peace in the heart, they will get it no matter who they are. That's a promise that God will always fulfill. I tell people that. My friend in Europe, that's what I told her. And with sharing this basic idea of God being in us, and all we have to do is ask. One of my favorite stories is the story of Cornelius, the centurion in Acts chapter 10. He was the very first Gentile who was baptized by Peter after the whole dream of the animals coming, the unclean animals and everything. He did the baptism thing backwards. He and his family received the Holy Spirit first. And then Peter was like, I guess we have to baptize them. They're speaking in tongues and they have the Holy Spirit all over them. We have to baptize them now. I believe that is a better method if we focus on God in us first and then baptize people that was like, okay, you've connected. I think that's a better model. This is one of the things that God in us does. But there's power also, power in the blood. That is, for some people, one of the more important aspects. Because for some of us, our monsters are real. And it's God's Spirit that breaks that. Because it's not, we talk about the chains of like drug habits and alcohol and a lot of the vices that we have. But I'm thinking more the monsters that live in the secret, the ones that we feed, the ones that we love, that we don't want to let go. Those kinds of monsters that cause lawsuits for churches. The really, really ugly ones. And we all know what those monsters are for us. They're powerful because we feed them, because we love them. We don't want to let those monsters go. They're precious. But there's hope, because those monsters have already been defeated. They're all destroyed already. As soon as he walks into the heart, as soon as we ask him and we believe, you have to believe it. The battle's over. There's no more struggling. It just happens because it's already been done. You just have to believe it. And he is coming back. But this person, you know that person, because you spent your life with that person. You know what he likes and what he doesn't like. Pancakes and waffles, even to that point of view. It's like you know this person so well. You've lived with them. So when this person comes back and the sky is tearing itself apart, you're not afraid. This person's your friend. That's what we get to look forward to. So the gospel is God living in us. To use sci-fi, we call it a symbiosis, where two living forms become one. That's kind of a familiar term, two becoming one. God in us. This is where all peace comes from. This is where all power comes from. This is what I believe grace is. A lot of people say that grace is unmerited favor. I find that lacking. I say that grace is Pentecost. Because yes, it's still unmerited favor, but it's power. It's power in our heart, in our bodies. That's what grace is, because that is what destroys sin. A point of view that I have is that wherever God lives, God does not sin. So there cannot be sin there. As long as he's here, sin cannot exist there. That's just physics. This is the good news that we need to be sharing with the world. Okay. So there is a reason why the Apostle Paul says this in every single one of his letters to the early churches. This is the entire good news in one little sentence. So if I was going to send a text message to someone with the gospel, this is it. Thank you. We'll just go. Pathfinders, tin hut. Parade rest. Prayer attention. If you can join us and bow your heads. Father in heaven, thank you that we could be here. Thank you for this whole year of Pathfinders, 2 years of Pathfinders, that you have guided us, that you've helped us, and you have been our captain. We ask that you continue to lead us through this summer and all the activities that are coming on in the future of this club. And we thank you for Terry also. She could be our area coordinator. Please bless this church. Bless all of us. Help us to see more of you every day. Thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Tin hut. Center face. Forward, march.